Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing I will never forget in a hurry when this season comes to an end, it's the way Kellyrae takes care of Cassia. That guy, that guy completely cleared my doubt. I remember when the season first started and both of them had their first diary session, and I watched how Big Brother would ask a question and Cassia would wait for Kellyrae to speak first, you know, and sometimes also Big Brother would ask a question and Kellyrae would just be going off talking whilst Cassia is just there. And then it seemed like Big Brother too noticed that Cassia wasn't really being expressive, and so he started asking direct questions to Cassia. That first impression completely rubbed off on me the wrong way. Because I felt like, dude, why are you being so egotistical? Like, come on, allow your woman some room to also express herself. I honestly felt like the guy was just doing the most. But then, having watched both of them this long, I mean, this is the 8th week now, having watched both of them, if there's one thing I've noticed is that where we think Cassia is weak, nah, she's not weak. She's very strong. Very, very strong. And in her strength lies Kellyrae's weakness. Kellyrae has this crazy soft spot for this girl or woman. Yeah. And it is in that soft spot that his protectiveness comes into play. And so I've noticed that for every time there's a party in the house, or maybe something happened that triggered Cassia, Kellyrae will always stay by her side. Why? Because he doesn't want her to get out of character. Last week after the Saturday night party was very, very glaring. Cassia was wasted and she was almost getting out of character, but Kellyrae stayed glued by her side. And when she wants to get up and misbehave, he would tell her sit down, or sometimes he would just gently pull her to sit down. And when he tells her it's okay, she too, she will stay. You can see the chemistry. You can see the bond. It did the same thing last night after the party. Immediately after the party, there was an ad break. And then once the cameras returned, the first thing we saw was Cassia once again wasted. She was resting her head. Like, according to her, her body was shaking. And Kellyrae was there. He was asking her, what do you need? Do you want to go upstairs? Do you want to eat? Are you okay? Do you need anything? And she couldn't respond, but she was just there. And he stayed there with her for a while before he took her upstairs to rest. Probably to shower, freshen up, and then to sleep. Now, just when I thought that was going to be the end of, you know, the showings and doings of Kellyrae, later on, there was a conversation between him and Ocee in the dressing area. So apparently, there had been a situation between both of them, Ocee and Kellyrae, and Ocee was telling Kellyrae that he was really hurt, that Kellyrae had really offended him. And Kellyrae too was like, well, you too, you also hurt me, you also offended me. And then they were talking and they were laughing. Onyeka was there and Ocee was telling Onyeka that this guy is a very stupid guy. What month were you born? Oh, you're a Libra. That's why you are very stupid. You're very indecisive. Now, it was all banters. It was all jokes. And Kellyrae was laughing. But then, Ocee then mentioned that in the past 8 weeks, he has been the one person that has been insulting Kellyrae back to back to back to back to back. And Kellyrae has never reacted. Kellyrae has never done anything about it. But then yesterday, the moment he mentioned Cassia's name, boom, Kellyrae lost it with him. He said he was shocked. He was taken aback. That he said, bro, you didn't tell me that Cassia is the boundary, is the no-go area. Like Cassia is the limit. Ladies and gentlemen, the cameras moved away from them quickly. See, I was so livid. I was so mad. I almost lost my mind because I wanted to hear the last of that conversation. See, when Ocee said that, ladies and gentlemen, it just completely confirmed all I had been seeing and all I had been thinking about these two people. That conversation was quite interesting because it also let us know that Kellyrae can take any heat that is thrown at him in that house, because what Ozee said was right. Ozee is always teasing this guy, and Cassia, always getting on Kellyrae's nerves, always jabbing him, throwing jabs and whatnot. And sometimes it's quite annoying, but then they understand each other, and Kellyrae never ever gives off a reaction. He never gets angry, he never gets upset. But remember, when Michky had that situation with Cassia, remember the way Kellyrae reacted? Like, the guy literally flared up. He was literally going to bring down the house. He was going to tear down the whole place. But then later on, they settled. I think that was something similar that happened between Ocee and Kellyrae yesterday. It was quite sad that I did not catch it, or maybe they didn't share it, but it was the same thing that happened. And Ocee said he was shocked. He was shocked. I'm like, well, there you have it. You know, it's a no-go area. Throw at me all the stones and all the jabs. I'll take it, but not my wife. Definitely not my wife. Aside the Kellyrae and Ozee's conversation, there was also the conversation between Ozie and Victoria that set the internet on fire. What was the conversation about? You would ask. Ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't really a full-blown conversation that we caught. It was just the most random statement that Ozee made whilst he and Victoria were eating at the dining area. Yes, so Ocee, after the party, had prepared noodles for himself and his brother, including Victoria, and Victoria had eaten and was thanking Ozee for the meal, you know, and for even offering to take care of her after the party. And Ozee was acknowledging her gratitude. And that was when he had just, out of the blues, blotted out Victoria, the girl that, enjoys being chased, and Ozee versus Ozee, the guy that is being chased. I guess I really hope I'm putting it the right way. And then he said one person must win. And then I think Victoria then said, well, I have no interest in chasing anybody, something like that. Now, the way a lot of people interpreted that statement, they were like, oh my God, so what Ozee means is that Onyeka is the one chasing him, Victoria is running away from him whilst he is chasing Victoria. And I'm going to be frank about it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the first interpretation that came to my mind, hence the reason I exclaimed, because I'm like, what? Wow. Because also, you won't blame a lot of people that thought that way, because there were certain things that have been happening in the house yesterday. Yeah. The whole thing of Onyeka wanting to cuddle with Ozee, and Ozee, you know, pushing her away, not wanting to cuddle with her, you know, not wanting the too much stickiness that she's always bringing to him. Yeah. So it will make you instantly interpret that statement to be that. But then Ozee had made a follow-up statement almost immediately after that, well, it's not like anybody is chasing me, or I'm not saying anybody is chasing me, but it's just that at the end of the day, they would wonder if they want to lose me, something like that. So Ozee was just speaking in codes, and you could tell that Victoria was not really comfortable with the conversation. So immediately she had changed the conversation, and she had asked, oh, what can I snack on self? I say, good girl, smart woman. That is how you play a player, by his game. And then Ozee was making suggestions like, oh, you can snack on bread, you can snack on munchies or whatnot. And then Ndi had joined them at the table, and then the conversation changed. But you see that brief exchange between those two people. Yeah. The fans, the shippers, they were going crazy. They were going wild. As a matter of fact, I was seeing some very, very weird interpretations of that moment, and oh my goodness, it was so funny, because a lot of people were saying that, don't mind Victoria wants to be chased. I'm like, does it really look like Victoria is the one chasing Ozee in that house? Like, what have people been watching? Does it really look that way? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I should actually explain that part, because people were just wilding on social media. People were wilding. They don't understand, and so they would rather just give their own interpretation to it to suit their own narrative. And somebody said that, oh, the conversation was about snacks. The conversation was not about snacks. It was just the most random statement that Ozee made. Yeah. Aside that, there was also a peace talk between Ndi and Suge. Now, Suge was obviously under the influence of alcohol. In fact, most of the housemates were actually tipsy and wasted. A lot of them had actually gone to bed early, yeah. But Suge was kind of under the influence, yeah. And so Ndi had leveraged on that opportunity to have a conversation with him. And she had actually told her sister and Sean that she knew that if Suge was in his right frame of mind, she would not have been able to have that conversation with him. So she knew that the guy was kind of tipsy, yeah. So she had gone ahead to have that conversation with him. And ladies and gentlemen, I watched Ndi, you know, giving Suge his flowers, giving him massive accolades, telling him about how much is a vibe, you know, the way they party in the party hall, the way they dance, that the guy is good looking, the guy is athletic, he's very fast, very sporty. She's just giving this guy a lot of compliments. So, and so just like, oh, thank you, I really appreciate. And then she was telling him that, oh, there's no bad blood between both of them. That all of these things they are doing there, at the end of the day, it's just a game. That when they go outside, they are going to vibe, they are going to group, they're going to chill. That, she didn't come to the house to fight with anybody. Oh, that she came to the house to make connections. She came to the house to, you know, to connect with people, to create bonds. She's not in the house to fight. Ladies and gentlemen, God, apologies, but the way these sisters talk, yeah, it's very infectious. Sometimes it's just very funny, you know. We just came to the house to vibe. We're not here to go fight to anybody. We're not here to fight, you know. But you're good. You're good looking. You're good looking, you know. Oh, and you know that whenever Ndi is talking, our accent of many nations just begin to pour out. But Suge, you know, he couldn't really probe the way he wants to probe, right? And so he was asking questions about, oh, was it you and I that had a tissue paper issue in the toilet the other day? She said, no, it's Wani. But anyways, it was a good talk. However, whilst that talk was happening, ladies and gentlemen, I was looking at Ndi. I said, girl, was it not you that was telling your sister and even complaining to Big Brother that Suge was making advances at you? That Suge was trying to, you know, play like this triangle game with you. Like Suge was flirting with you, that Suge was giving you attention and then acting like he doesn't really like you. Was it not you that was actually peddling that false narrative? Was it not you and your sister that every given opportunity you have, you'll be dragging Suge? Now, all of a sudden, the guy is the best thing that has ever happened in that house since before your jumpsuit. Now, all of a sudden, you're giving him accolades, you're giving him flowers, you're talking about connections outside the house. See, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, the fear of eviction is the beginning of connections in Big Brother's house. Because it was very obvious that Ndi was kind of scared. She does not really know her fate come, you know, the live eviction show. And so for her, it's better for her to make peace with everybody before they go outside the house. And that was exactly what she was doing. Am I mad at it? Absolutely not. But it is what it is at the end of the day, because we've always said it, that these housemates, they'll always do what they want to do and what they have to do to get ahead in the game. And then afterwards, they will go and make peace outside, whilst their fans will be killing, you know, themselves over what is not really relevant. And then speaking about Suge, Ndi had carried that conversation to go and tell her sister and Sean. And it looked like they were not really happy that she had the conversation with them. And I was kind of sad that Ndi did that, because I actually thought that Ndi was becoming her own person, that she was becoming her own independent person. You know, she had her own independent thought. But then when she went to go and tell them what she had discussed with Suge, she had actually said it in a malicious manner, like, like it wasn't really relevant. But then they did not know that she was the one that was even pushing all those compliments to the guy. The guy was the one receiving the compliments. She was the one ensuing for peace. But then she went to her sister and Sean and was making it look like it was the guy that was actually doing the reverse. Anyways, stemming from that, you know, disclosure to them, Sean and Wani then had a follow-up conversation about it. And guys, Sean was talking about how, you know, he and Suge, they had a conversation, and Suge was telling him that, oh, the reason why there's a strain in their relationship is because he had been hearing things. That is the guy a coward? You should be hearing things. Why can't you come and talk to me about it? You know, you already know how I move. You already know how I operate. So why would you just stay and hold grudges like that, like that? And listening to Sean say all of those things, ladies and gentlemen, I said, no, Sean, you are the bitter friend here, not Suge. Because when you made that nasty comment about Nelly to Wani, about, you know, just basically body shaming Nelly, Suge had actually approached you for a conversation. He had confronted you and you were unapologetic about it. You were unremorseful. And you had gone ahead to say a lot of, you know, derogatory things about him. To the Mbadiwe twins, even to Wani and Ndi. And then his head of house reign. You've tried all your possible best to frustrate this guy. So what are we talking about? Who is the coward? Who is the bitter friend? Wani too had a lot to say. And ladies and gentlemen, quite frankly, I think I'm getting tired of, you know, everything Sean says, Wani swallows it hook, line, and sinker, like she doesn't really have a mind of her own. You know, automatically, my man, she would definitely support Sean because it's very obvious that she wasn't really being honest with him. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for the after party. I would love to hear your thoughts about all I have shared on this video. So just go ahead and share in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Elijah. Thanks for watching and have an amazing day. Bye.